Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, SUVs, popcorn, Florida. Oh my goodness gracious, the kid, landscaping projects. Hey, good Wednesday morning. Is it Wednesday? I mean, I'm sincere. Is it Wednesday? I can't keep track of the days. Just too much to do, too much fun. In which we really are. We're having a blast down here in Florida. I'm blessed to be able to be here as long as I've been. Running your own company is not easy, especially when you leave town. So it's a day-to-day thing. But as always, thanks for everybody that reaches out in my channel, supports me, says hey, and just keeps the channel going because I just try to continue to bring you content and hopefully gives you something to watch other than watching the same old news of the news of the news of the news. It's incredible how the news always operates off of tomorrow. Has anybody ever just kind of thought about that? I mean, have you ever thought to yourself about how, if you look at the YouTubers, the Gloomer Doomers, and don't get me wrong, there's tons of other YouTubers out there who have great channels that aren't focused on the gloom and doom, but it just seems like so many live a life about tomorrow. And that's not today's theme or conversation, because I've had that conversation. But it just seems that that's how we operate, that you're always looking for information to make you feel good or bad, I guess, by hearing tomorrow's news. But yet somebody can't figure out what today's news is going to be until it actually happens, right? But anyways, it's always about the conversations and me trying to bring something that gives you a reason to turn on my channel and listen to me talk. And so we talk about this week. We had the spies on Monday. We had the program on Tuesday, and then I thought, you know what? It's ironic. This is no lie. This is no lie. So I just had a person comment on my channel on yesterday's boat day video. Are you running out of content? And I was like, wow. What's the odds of me this morning getting up and truly thinking, what are you going to talk about? And for anybody out there that's a YouTube individual, when I've run across other YouTube people, and the number one thing you're going to hear them talk about is the content. What can you bring to the YouTube world of content that really is going to drive people to watch your channel? And it's extremely challenging. And there's some people out there that just have incredible talents, and they just have incredibly successful channels on the content they bring. So I thought, wow, that is so funny, because truly, I'm thinking, what are we going to talk about? If you look at my channel and you look how many videos I've made daily, for now, it's going on over a year. I mean, it's going on, I would think, probably 2 years of me just trying to get a morning conversation channel to really get more attention and to grow by leaps and bounds. I mean, that really is my goal. And keep in mind, it's not easy bringing anybody that watches my channel content that really intrigues you to really want to watch me all the time, and that's challenging. And I'm not here crying the blues. I'm just saying, I think it's funny that somebody reached out and said, hey, man. And actually I responded, no, yesterday's boat day, it was more about me spending time with my brother, since I'm not here all the time in Florida. I thought, change up the channel yesterday. We had the boat adventure. I didn't buy a boat. Yeah, would I like to buy a boat? If I lived down here and I had a lot of time, I've already bought a boat for my brother and dad. But the point is, yeah, would I like to have a boat down here for myself? Absolutely. But I can't justify it because I'm not here enough. And then you just think about how much boats are and blah, 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 blah. And would it be nice to trade my dad's boat in for a bigger boat that I bought him. But then it turns into the boats are so expensive. So anyways, the person that reached out, I thought it was pretty funny. That was a pretty good time this morning. So what are we going to talk about? I mean, sincerely, what can I tell you if I'm not out buying a car, a motorcycle, a truck? I mean, yes, I understand for so many it'd be like, yeah, you kind of keep your channel going because you're always buying something, and that gives you a theme to always have content to share your new car, or new motorcycle, new truck, whatever it may be. What's interesting is my next door neighbor here, he has a brand new Hummer EV sitting in his garage. I've seen a vehicle sitting in his garage when he opens the garage door, but I've never been close enough to see it. I'm always usually down the street or something, across the pool, swimming, whatever it may be. But yesterday I finally caught him. It was pretty cool because I parked my big truck in his driveway. Every day he and his wife disappear and they're gone. and I parked my truck in their driveway, never realizing they'd come back home in the middle of the day, and they did. So there's this big banging on the door like, get your truck out of my driveway. But they're the coolest people in the world. And that wasn't, they weren't really mad. It's like, hey, get your truck out. So we started talking, and I'm looking at his Hummer in his garage. So he claims that he has the only white Hummer that is available for sale in the whole country. Everything else is like green Hummers. So if anybody's interested and wants to buy a brand new Hummer that he's marking up, and I don't know, I know that they paid 109 plus sales tax. They're into it for like 117 grand. So all I know is they just turned down a $131,000 offer. Does he want $140, $150? I don't know. But anybody's interested in my channel, I told him he should let me take that vehicle out and do a review and promote it for him. And he's for the most part, he's up for that. So do I get a chance to drive a brand new Hummer if I really bug him? We're good friends, and he would do that. I'm sure of that. So who knows? Maybe that happens where I can do a whole impression of the EV Hummer. It's interesting for me, being such a car fanatic guy. Would I want to buy that? I've got the electric vehicles. I know what goes along with that charging. And for me, drive it back home. Good luck. How many times are going to stop? It has like, I think 400-mile range, but it's so much money. And if I could trade my Lightning for it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Sure, but I got electric vehicles that have died in value so much that it's hard to get rid of those. In some ways, I'm sure some people would say you should have taken your Lightning truck and traded that for the F450. Well, then it gets into the credit, one side, then it gets too complicated to make that all work. Plus, I didn't bring that down. How did this all happen? Anyways, so what are we talking about? I don't know. I said, what about software? And I'm no computer guy by any means. Anybody who runs my channel, I would be lying to you to try to make you think I went to school to learn about computers. All my learning just been my own. I'm not lying to you. That's just taught myself. I guarantee there's tons of other people out there that just taught themselves as well. But I thought, how do you keep the theme of the channel going from spies among us with all this technology around us, to the program, how you program all these different vehicles and how we're programmed and how the artificial intelligence. But then I thought, what about software? So I thought to myself, it's kind of intriguing is, when was the first computer put in a car? Does anybody know that answer? So apparently, the first computers put in a car, I believe, was like 1967 with Volkswagen for the fuel injection system with Bosch. So I guess you could say the ECU, that was like the first known, that's what I've just looked up and saw. But one was like the first, I guess you could say, computer programmed for a car. And that is like a 1977, I believe, Oldsmobile car. I have it on my phone. And you know me, I like to kind of just get my phone out and start showing the world and what's going on. And we can do that again, which I'm sure some people are like, man, why don't you just get that technology where you can put it up on your screen? Well, it's all about the editing, and it just gets into a lot of time. And so let's look right here. Let me show you right here. History of computers and cars. So it was 1968, not 67. Volkswagen introduced the first consumer vehicle available with a computer, a transistorized, electronically controlled fuel injection system. 1969, Ford introduced their first computer-controlled anti-skid system. So it was basically late 60s. So the last vehicle that was recorded to run on a carburetor instead of a computer was the 1991 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser with a Chevrolet 350. But let's see here what else. Software in cars goes back more than 4 decades, which reported in 2009 the first production car that incorporated embedded software was a 1977 General Motors Oldsmobile Tornado with an electronic unit that managed electronic spark timing. So, then for me, just trying to intrigue people to think about things is, what's the difference between a computer program versus computer software? Because everything we own today, especially these newer cars, my assumptions are you have a computer program, but you also have software. But what's the difference? what's the difference between the a computer program versus a software? So I looked it up, and it's very intriguing to read this. And I'll put the phone down so you're not like bouncing around and getting sick on me. But here we are on my dad's bench. How you like that, right? Computer. The difference between program and software. A lot of people are very astute to the computers. Probably like, yeah, boring. Anyways, the following table highlights the major difference between program and software. But what actually is a program? What is a program? Is a set of instructions that are given to a computer to execute. It allows the computer to perform a specific task. But what's the difference between software? Software is a set of programs or instructions given to a computer. It is a collection of programs that performs a function. Yeah, I know. It kind of gets, kind of gets like redundant to me. But here you go. So program, set of instructions. Software, a collection of programs. Program, code. Software, number of code. Program can be written by a single user. Software is written by many users. A single program can't be a software. Software can be a program. Program is generally written in low level. Software is in high level. It is not classified. Software is further classified. Are you getting confused yet? It is small and ranges from kilobytes. It is huge and ranges from megabytes to gigabytes. It doesn't have any user interface. It provides command lines and graphical interface. It's complied every time when you output it. So here we go. Are you kind of following this right here? It's like, good Lord. Program, software, what the hell is running your car? And more than ever where we are in today's world, I mean, I guess we should kind of know what the hell's going on with these cars, or do we want to know? And I'm sure some people out there are like, I just don't want any of these damn things. I want that 1970 Chevy car, whatever it may be. It just doesn't have all this stuff, and including the motorcycles. You know what? What ECU program is in the motorcycle? What software, what OS system, the Microsoft system, the different software companies out there that, the Apple system, which system, and this new Harley Davidson has a whole brand new software system in it to interface with the bike, to give you all your options. You're right. And then just get over here. Guess what? This, I'm sure, is an ECU program. We know that. But as far as software goes, does the Breakout and the Lowrider ST have like software programs written in them to the ECU? I'm not real sure. Once again, I'm not here on my channel trying to tell you I'm the prophet or the professor by any means. But I just think it's intriguing on how all this artificial intelligence is driving, for individuals like me, just more of an awareness, and just I'm more intrigued to really start thinking, wow, everything around us is just turning into and don't get me wrong, everybody knows the computerized world is at the highest level ever in modern times. But I guess also what maybe intrigued me to this conversation this morning was the Gemini ordeal. And if you're in the generative pre-trained transformer world, the OpenAI, the ChatGPT, Elon Musk with the Grok, Microsoft, Sam Altman with OpenAI. There's a list of artificial intelligence companies out there creating, I guess, would you say programs and software? I mean, so is the interface or interaction of the generative pre-trained transformer, are you talking program and code? Are you talking software? I mean, so how it's more like text and line that people are entering information to the computers to help the artificial intelligence grow and become more humanoid. And so it's interesting that Google is getting called out big time, because last week on X I saw this. I didn't really spend a lot of time, but Google in so many ways is being racist. That's a fact. It's on their platform, Gemini. If you would look up an individual and you would actually get a picture of what the pre-trained generative transformer, ChatGPT, thought what that person would look like, it shows pictures of Elon Musk. It shows a lot of people that are white, but the Gemini OpenAI or whatever, how you want to say, the Gemini software program that you're interacting with the artificial intelligence, it's creating pictures of people of color. And so that's what's really opened like Pandora's box, is where in Google, why is Google's platform creating people of color instead of people of what they really are? And now Google is actually apologizing, and they're working apparently diligently to get their Gemini artificial intelligence system platform to be more realistic of what something you ask, something that gives you back the actual answer. And that's the big concern. That's what's raising the eyebrows of so many. It's already beginning of the artificial intelligence being trained to lie to you. And that's a huge concern of so many that are involved growth of this artificial intelligence, that it's going to be so much false information that's being given to people, and they'll believe this, and it's very dangerous. We have the election year. I mean, who, and that's what you have to say at the end of the day. Who gets called out? You know, when does the robot get called out for its actions? Who takes responsibility? That's an ongoing conversation of all these autonomous driving vehicles. So if you have a vehicle, it's an autonomous drive, it's driving itself down the road and gets in a car crash, whose responsibility is that? Is it the manufacturer's responsibility, the software, the program, the other individual? I mean, you're starting to get a lot of hands in the pot. And if you understand that, I mean, there's just too many people involved, and that's what this artificial intelligence is all about. It's so many millions of people feeding information to these computers to get them to act and bigger and better than us, that it's infinite on all the variables that are starting to play out, and which is very disconcerting for so many of where this is going to go in the future. And so, once again, is the generative pre-trained transformer, is that I would imagine it's a combination of programs, like I talked about with this NVIDIA company that is developing the GPU semiconductor chip that has the graphics processing versus the CPU. It has to do a dual or parallel type of way of interacting versus a CPU only has like a single way of acting. Yeah, it gets heavy, it gets deep. I know, on my channel, I'm just throwing ideas because we truly are witnessing the transformation of what is right in front of us, of all these vehicles that are going to have all this artificial intelligence being dumped into them, which to me in so many ways is just kind of freaky scary, that they're going to be resorting to putting this software and programs in these cars more than ever that are their own thing. And do they revolt on you as you're driving down the road, that you lose control of your car because another artificial intelligence technology has hacked your car unbeknownst to the individual who designed all that artificial intelligence? It's infinite. It's the war of the it'll be the war of the robots, the war of the computers. I think many would agree that that's the next thing that I think we'll witness in mankind, is we're going to have the war of the robots, the Optimus, and all the other. And then it's the what was the word I was telling you last week, that NVIDIA Figure. So here's Figure AI, or Figure AI, where Microsoft, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and all these big time companies are investing heavily into the Optimus human-like robot competitor to Elon Musk and Tesla. Yeah, that's happening as we speak. So you have to say to yourself, different operating system, different programming, software, whatever it may be, or is it? And at the end of the day, does the Optimus get in the ring with the Figure AI and duke it out? And I would have to say that's what you're going to see. And then does it go into the football type of the sports? Do these computers, these robots, there's a new sport that's just beyond believable of them terminating each other? I mean, you have to say that it's probably, you think all this crazy WWE and all these guys that fight in the ring and they're bleeding to death. They're bleeding like, they're just violence in these rings. So when does the robots show up And the crowds by the masses are showing up to watch this incredible, just violent actions. And what, how crazy is it? I think, who's designing that? Hey, anybody out there? Who's going to get the WWE? And what are we going to call it? What are you going to call the robots league of people getting entertainment by seeing robots destroy each other? Yeah, I think that's where it is. And when is the first robot in a race car that's driving? And some people say, well, you don't really need a robot in a race car because it's all going to be like driving a drone. I say, yeah, well, pretty much, yes, that's probably factual. So interesting. Where the kids, I swear the kids used to go to school earlier in the morning. It's so crazy and how as a kid in the 70s, I had to be out of bed by 6:30. We were in school by 7:30. It's incredible where we live in today's world. And I get it. The thought is that teenagers need sleep. It helps them learn. That's something it's a very crucial time of them developing in their youthful years. And so many school systems throughout the country went to 9 o'clock start time for classes. I can remember my daughter in her last few years of high school, she was getting in school like 9:15, 9:30. She didn't get home until like close to 5 o'clock. I remember being in school at 7:30 and the bell rang at 1:50, and I was home by 2:30. I mean, that was so cool. I could go do so many other things in my life, and I could even go work a part-time job. So I mean, wow, versus today, wow, isn't that something? Yes, so if you watch my channel, I'm sure some are going to say, well, where is that Harley Davidson Street Glide ST? Yeah, would that be really cool to pick up? It would. I don't see it happening down here because it wouldn't make any sense. Only way it'd make any sense if I could trade that bike for it, but the problem is it's the values, and that bike's value isn't going to justify the numbers to work. It just makes no sense. And yeah, so my daughter's not going to be able to. My wife's already reaching out to me. Don't be training your kid to go buy something. Do not let her go buy something. I'm like, right? She hasn't bought anything. She hasn't bought anything. I mean, for me, I'm always the guy that's intrigued to see what they will or won't do. And yeah, I mean, so that's not going to play out. I don't know how it would. And for me, buying this and buying that, I mean, at some point you're just like, no, just ain't going to happen. Somebody else on the channel, like, yeah, right. No, I mean, I'm sincere. I've reached out to some other dealers up north, and the problem is, yeah, I mean, the pitch is, hey, man, we'll sell you that motorcycle for $29,999. No, you won't. You're not selling it for me. It's the worst. It's the worst. Because you're not selling it to me because you get the setup and freight. And setup and freight today is $2,000. So you should just tell the person, really, if you're a salesperson, it's $31,999. I mean, or is that kind of like the hidden secret code that, hey, I really would sell it for $29.99 plus tax if we really have to go that far to get the deal done? Why would you just say the bike's $31,999? Why do you have to have the setup and freight? Why isn't the setup and freight just in the price of the vehicle? When you go up to a Maroni sticker on a truck or car, it shows you the price of the vehicle, including destination. They don't talk about setup and freight on the cars. It's already all included. But in bikes, there is no law that the dealer has to show you an actual MSRP sticker from the manufacturer. I've talked about this many times on my channel. If you go buy a motorcycle and you don't do your research, you really have no idea how much that motorcycle is. You don't. The laws do not require motorcycle dealers to actually show you the real price of the motorcycle. It can be whatever they want it to make it be. That's a fact. And it's not me by any means being critical of any dealer I deal with. I'm just sharing with you it's the facts. That one dealer can say that that motorcycle right there is $49,999. Another dealer could say it's $39,999. Another dealer could say it's $33,999 plus tax. I mean, whatever they want to say. It's your responsibility to go to the manufacturer's website and look at the actual price of the motorcycle for you to actually know what the suggested, it's the manufacturer's suggested retail price. That's what MSRP means. Manufacturer's suggested retail price. Remember, use that. Listen to that word, suggested. For some reason, people go and buy things, including me, that there is negotiating skills. There is negotiations. So And the only reason I would be a little more on the page of picking up a 23 Street Glide ST sooner than later is because Bike Week is right around the corner, and a lot of people are going to get, a lot of people are going to jump in and start buying all these leftover 23s to then take them to Daytona. And the weather's going to change. We're now in the upswing of coming out of winter. So all these leftover bikes that have the deals, they're going to start to disappear. And then you're not going to be able to buy a brand new one. You'll be able to find an Iceman one used, which that's fine. That'll play out down the road as well. But at the same time, it'd be pretty cool to pick up a new one. And here's what's interesting. So down there at the marina, if you're watching my channel, the boat that I bought my brother and dad, it's had major problems of the constant hull getting damaged. That's why one guy this morning reached out and said, hey, what's going on? What's going on with your content? It's kind of like, I guess you're running out of content. I'm thinking, well, not really. I mean, I'm adventures with my brother, and if you watch my brother and you see his antics, and the guy can barely hear, so it's very challenging. That's been my whole life with my brother. He just doesn't hear things. Until you're a person, anybody out there really truly needs to go to some earplugs, put them in your ears, and just walk around for the next week, and try to look at and try to really get a what reality is once you don't have good hearing. It's a whole different world. You don't hear all these little fine details, all these things. You don't hear how people talk. It's infinite. It's very, very challenging for people that don't have good hearing or are deaf to be able to really relate like you and I do that can hear a lot of things. And so the point of that is I want to go with my brother to try to help him figure out what's going on with this constant damaged hull. Well, it's the chimes. It's the way the hull is designed, and it steps down for the technology. Over the years, the boat hulls have been designed differently on how they have all these different steps into the way the hull is designed to help it to be more efficient, get up on plane faster, to go faster. It's just a lot. It's all the engineering, the software, the programming, blah, 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 blah. But the way our boat is designed, the boat has major challenges of sitting on these cradles without them damaging the bottom of the hull. And the people that run the show down there, they're sick of having to fix this damn boat. So for me, I'm just trying to see if we can maybe do something different and have our own personal crafted, built cradle that my brother's up to doing. So that's why I shared that whole video yesterday about us going down to the boat and trying to figure out how to get that boat to sit on the cradle better and get out of this never-ending challenge of the boat being damaged. Now, anybody has a boat, no, it's just never-ending of the boat having problems. And, turn around, and it's just infinite on boats. If you're a boat owner, And then for me, whatever my idea is, my brother then kind of always resists my idea. My idea is we got to take that boat and trade it in for a nice used boat with just a whole different design hull and a little better accommodating boat. And they have one down here at Marine Max, really nice used Boston Whaler that we could probably take our boat and trade it for that. But my brother, he'll just go nuts. He'll be like, no. My brother's the type of guy. He owns the same thing forever. Once he buys something, he'll never ever sell it. I'm not lying. If you watch me go over to his house, you'll see vehicles he's owned for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah, that's how he is. And so for me, but it would make more sense because the design of that hole in the bottom, I think wouldn't have the same challenge. It could, but I think the best thing to do is just put the boat in the water and paint the bottom, the hull of it, and then periodically you just take it out and clean the bottom of the hull, the outdrives, and just make it so you get out of this constant fight with the boat in the water, boat out of the water. And you think about it, put the boat in the water for X amount of months out of the year, and then take the boat and leave it on the rack at X amount of, in the winter months, leave it out of the water. In the summer months, you put it back in the water. But what's interesting is the marina right next door. I mean, this is where the constant people saying the country's going to the ground, which I'm not here to say that it couldn't happen, but that marina there, I called the management yesterday for a marina right next door to see if we're going to put our boat next door. And the reality is it's really within the same pricing. But she forewarned me that as of March 1st, 62 people are going to sign up to get a slip. Well, what's that all about? It's all about people want to not pay for storage in the colder months. So if you're a boater down here, people near me, keep in mind, this is warm weather for us northerners. But for a person down here, their boating season really isn't start until March, April, and they don't want to be in the cooler months paying rent. And so if they take their boat out of storage for 5 months, there's $3,000 plus money saved on paying rent. But once March 1st hits, they're all jumping back in to get these spots at these marinas, and then all the available slips and spots start to disappear. So what I tell you that for is because it just intrigues me on how so many people think, oh man, it's over, it's over, it's over. Talk about all the time on my channel is the constant rhetoric, if it's over. There's always going to be people out there that go broke. I don't understand why people get so revved up about people's, foreclosures through the roof. Car repossessions through the roof. I mean, car repossessions go on all the time. Good economy, bad economy. Home foreclosures go on all the time. Good economy. I mean, I know you can have a cross point where it just everything goes to the ground. Here's my next door neighbor. What's he doing? It's kind of weird. He's cutting the car away. Guess he's backing it up. Oh, that's her. So it's my next door neighbor who she is doing her get out of town thing, and I don't want to embarrass her by me videoing her not doing a great job getting her car out. Great neighbors. We got some really good people. So anyways, so yes, it's always, the software. Yeah, I'm no computer expert. Oops, I just heard something. Yikes. Did she just hit her car against that garage? Oof. I mean, I thought I heard a bump. Anyways, so yeah, just the ongoing conversations without trying to make it too much of a negativity of all the things going on in the world around us, as we all know. And yeah, and what's the next adventure? And so for me, yeah, I'm here another day. My goal is to keep it going. My goal is to try to get through the weekend. And the great news is my mother really has gotten, in my eyes, a lot better. She's eating better. She was outside with us yesterday, hanging out in the back lanai, and she's getting around. So what's really cool is my presence down here. I mean, I'm not here to brag, but my presence has helped my mother, and I feel like we're going the right direction. So that's a great thing, because when I was here in July and we left, and I heard my mother say to me, "I won't see you again," that was very emotional for me. If you have a parent tell you when you're getting ready to leave, and you're not sure when you can come back, that I may never see you again. That's like, wow. So good news is we've been blessed, and that's my neighbor here had 3 major operations of tumor in his head. Just really sad. I've told you before that his father and him, apparently up there in Pennsylvania, created the home shopping network. His dad did. This is back in the late 60s, early 70s. That's his claim. He has an incredibly successful auction business down here in Florida, and a jewelry business. He's very, very successful. Has great kids, live around the area. They used to live in a big-ass house. They moved here just to kind of downsize. And just a great guy. And but he's very religious, and he makes these little crosses. And it's very intriguing, because he claims that little crosses he makes, people have taken them, and they have incredible stories of success, of friends, family, whoever it may be. And so he's I mean, literally, he's thinking about making like 1 million of these crosses. It would cost him like $300,000, and he would probably just ask for. He doesn't want, like right now he hands out crosses, and why am I talking about this? Well, it's always about the channel. It's always about just sharing information, and I just think it's intriguing because he's gone through some incredibly challenging times. I'm trying to see here if my where I put that little bag. Oh, right here. I want to show you those. It's just intriguing when you hear, because people, when you're laying on death's bed, which I think most people aren't, but if you are, you start to think about, yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to show this to you, but he's very, very picky on who he gives them to, because he wants people that truly need them to have one. And once again, it's very intriguing. So here's what he did. Here's this little message. I can do all things through Christ. And yeah, somebody here may not be but anyway, so he makes this little cross, which I think is so cool. And apparently at his church, people get these for somebody else. And then what he does, he actually puts scripture. And he doesn't charge for this. and he doesn't want to charge for it. But his accountant's like, if you make 1 million of these crosses and you want to hand them out, you know, that's going to cost you like $300,000 because of all the packaging. So he's thinking about that. Anybody there that's, you know what, it would be, yeah, how would I get that to you? And he wants to get like his own YouTube channel. I'm like, why don't you just let me do this for you? I've got a YouTube channel. And he wants me to go to his warehouse and do a whole video on his YouTube channel. So now here I've got a lady right here that's taking a picture. So what that comes down to is she taking a picture of my truck, and she's going to call me out on the association. So she is. Right there, that's right there. That's probably a lady right there you just witnessed, possibly, that's going to send an email to my parents that there's a truck in the driveway. This is pretty funny. So on my YouTube channel, this is what you deal with. And so in today's technology, she could easily be emailing right now the picture to the association about my truck. But what's interesting is ever since one neighbor left right over here, next to this other neighbor here, the letters and the complaints have kind of disappeared. So now, this would be the first time ever in all the years I've been down here, I finally caught the person, one of the people that's doing this. What's your gut instinct tell you? You just watch my channel. That woman standing there for, you know, at least 20 seconds, 10, 20 seconds, and zooming right in and taking a picture. So does she look back? Does she look back at me? So, you know, and to me, it's just like, what is this vehicle? But I have no idea. You know, once again, could she be taking a picture of something else? I doubt it. Do I need the cross? Do I need this cross? Yeah, do I need the blessing? Does the truck need to have the cross in it? Come on. Yeah, I hear you. Wow. But now I'm more intrigued to see her next, where she's going. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyways, so channel, I keep it going, and always appreciate all the comments, support, and to say hi to so many that reach out. And anyways, there you go. I'm going to kind of let it go there, but now I just really feel strongly that my mom's going to be saying, hey, you got to get the truck out of the driveway. So then I got to go put it in my brother's house or my sister's house, just because this lady here wants to be the police person of the neighborhood. Hope I'm wrong, but I'll keep you informed on that for the next time we talk on the video channel. So anyways, hey everybody, I appreciate the conversation with others that do participate in my channel. And as always, God bless, stay safe, and what's the next adventure? I don't know. So have a great day.